I want to be a ball player growing up, man. You ain't going pro, my bro. By the time I'm ready to retire, like I want to be making $500,000 a year. No matter what happens, like I'll find a way to succeed. I had a deal set up before I even moved here to buy this practice. My dad died when I was in dental school and he had a little bit of life insurance. Time is the most valuable currency. And like the older I get, the more I realize it now. So I'm not willing to trade any more time for money. So I'll
We are back. Facebook group live. Financial freedom for dentists through passive investing. I'm Dr. Jonathan Withananchi or Dr. Jonny Walker. This is another episode of our series of Success Leaves Clues, where we interview a successful group member that's successful in dentistry as well as investing in real estate. So the whole idea of this series is that we can learn from one another and collaboratively grow and expand our financial universe. So today, there's no exception to that rule. We have a very successful dentist by the name of Dr. Brandon Johnson.
Hey.
There he is, Dr. Brandon Johnson.
What's up, my bro?
Big Pappy. Over social media, we've become very good friends. I think it's just a matter of time until we actually meet. Let's get right into it. I mean, tell us about where you're from and how you got into dentistry.
I'm from Northern Virginia. I got into dentistry. My old high school football and lacrosse coach was a dentist. And he was always out there at 2 o'clock with us every day coaching. He'd buy us new cleats. We go swim at his house in the pool. I was like, this dude's life is pretty chill. He seems rich. He's coaching kids. I was like, I want to do what he's doing. So he kind of pulled me into it. And I always had pretty good grades. So I just started following his path and he kind of showed me down that road.
What age did you decide that you were going to be a dentist? You knew this from a young age, basically?
I didn't. I was pre-med in undergrad, and then I started shadowing ER room physicians, and they're like, bro, do not do this. Go be a dentist. They were saying their dentist friends' lives were better. And like, I want to be a ball player growing up, man. I was an athlete, you know? So I played football in high school. But after the first year, the coach was like, look, man, you about the shortest, slowest, whitest wide receiver we got on the team. Like, you ain't going pro, my bro. Like, we'll get you on special teams by the time you're a senior. And at that point, I realized I was not going pro. He was like, you got the highest grades on the team. You know, go stick to what you want to do. And so I kind of just took his advice. And so I was like, man, let me go do what I have a shot at doing. And then I put my head down and just tried to get into dental school at that point.
Talk to us about, when did you graduate? What dental school did you go to?
I graduated 2018 from Penn, and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she's an Army dentist. So she was like, I had opportunities set up in field practice management stuff. I was going in on weekends. Like I was really trying to figure out the business side of things. It's funny.
This is in dental school?
This is in dental school, bro.
Wow.
One of my first week of dental school, my friend Parth Patel, his family, you know, big Indian family, they own all these dental offices out in Philly. We were all at dinner together. This was my first week. And they were like, Brandon, like, what's your goal in dentistry? I was like, man, I thought I was kind of flexing. I was like, by the time I'm ready to retire, like, I want to be making $500,000 a year. And one of them started chuckling. I was like, what's so funny, man? Like, I thought that was like big baller shit. And he was like, bro, I make $500,000 a year off just 2 of my like 15 offices. And they kind of opened my eyes like, oh, there's another level to this dental world. My goal is I'm not trying to scale and be the group practice guy. My goal has changed since then, but they kind of opened my eyes like what you can do with this profession. And then ever since then, like I just started really trying to learn the business side of how it worked. But that's kind of how I got to where I'm at now. But anyway, backtracking, I graduated Penn 2018, followed my wife to Columbia, South Carolina for a year while she did an Army residency. And then she got orders. She was going to get stationed in Austin, Texas. Or Killeen, Fort Hood is where the base is. So I just drew a 2-hour driving radius around her base. And I started a Google sheet just hitting up dentists saying, I'm trying to buy your office.
Wow.
So like I had a deal set up before I even moved here to buy this practice. I was just trying to hit the ground running.
So 1 year out, amazing. How was that experience?
Like I said, I drew a 2-hour driving radius. I figured we could split the difference. I found this office, this previous doctor who started in 2017. She was just trying to get rid of it. It had good bare bones. Like it had 6 chairs. You know, I knew the demographics were good. It was a growing area. So I just rolled the dice. I got here and I had lunch with 3 older doctors in the area. We shook hands. They gave me $150K each to go buy this thing on just a handshake deal. And they said, hey, once you hit this revenue target, you know, you can buy us out at a profit margin. And then COVID hit. Like I was building it up. One when I got there, we were doing 20, 25K a month in revenue. We built it up. I think it was like our first 80K month. A year later, we went from doing 270 to on track to being like $1 million office.
Wow.
The banks were finally ready to finance me. We were cash flowing. And I was like, partners, get ready, baby. Like, y'all are gone. I'm buying y'all out. And then COVID hit and like everything shut down. So that was like really a pain in the butt. But going through some shit like that, it makes you confident. Like going through that, you're like, dang, like if I made it through that, bro, I could really, no matter what happens, like I'll find a way to succeed. So we finally got through COVID. I bought them all out. They all made their money. And then it's been mine since, without partners, since 2020, 2021.
Now you said, I just need to get into the game. I talked to a lot of dentists about this, and a lot of them come down to that analysis paralysis. In their mind, okay, this looks like a good deal. I have the money, and sometimes they just can't get over it and actually go and press the button to send the money. It comes down to a mindset, having an investor mindset. And the only way I can tell you is to kind of get over that a little bit is to get education, educate yourself. In my opinion, and in a lot of the wealthiest people in this country's opinion, real estate is a much lower risk strategy to building wealth and cash flows than it is in the stock market. So you invested in a couple of deals with us at Walk of Wealth. Now, what made you decide, look, I'm going to invest with these guys? Like, what was the deciding factor that I'm going to go with Walk of Wealth?
Like your track history, bro, honestly. You know, when I FaceTime you, you're showing me around the crib, the pool, you know, like backstory, like my dad died when I was in dental school and he had a little bit of life insurance money. We didn't have much money. My mom lost every penny of it on a scam. So like I promised myself, like, that was a very valuable lesson for me because I'm the oldest sibling. My family was looking at me like, Brandon, are we going to be okay? Like, I had to hustle. But going through that and seeing my mom lose everything, like, it made me really try and sniff people out. Like, if I get a bad read on someone or if I can just sense that they're full of shit, like, I'm not going to do anything with you. So, I mean, just FaceTime with you. Like, I saw the crib, I saw the pool. Okay, my boy ain't broke. You know, and so then just doing the due diligence, you know, the presentation that you guys put together and whatnot. And for me, I'm okay giving up some money for somebody to do the grunt work for me. Like I'll gladly give up some returns for me to not have to invest any of my own time into the deal. So yeah, you can go do and source these deals on your own and go do it on your own. I'm not doing that, bro. I got 2 kids. I like spending time with my wife. I like having fun on weekends. I don't work Friday, even though I could. Time is the most valuable currency. And like the older I get, the more I realize it now. So I'm not willing to trade any more time for money. So I'll gladly give up some money if you're going to trade the time for me, you know? So, you know, sniffing out the person who you're going to do the deal with and vetting them thoroughly, because there's a lot of con artists out there, is important. And then, you know, just making sure that they have the experience to get the job done. And, you know, shit can happen always, but at some point you got to pull the trigger and you know it's a risk and you got to put your chips in.
Well said. I mean, Brandon, everything well said.
This is what I was thinking about when we were talking about people who want to pay down their debt aggressively. Like, oh, I'm going to live like a student, you know, for 15 years after school and then I'll be debt free and then I'll start like enjoying life. Like, bro, did you forget we're all dying slowly? Like, what are you going to do? Just sacrifice your best 10, 15 years of life to live in poverty so that you can be debt free? Like, what happens if you croak the next day? So yeah, I have 7 figures of debt and it's all at low interest. And my monthly income services all the debt with ease. And I'm okay with that because I'm trying to ball out and enjoy life. You know, like time is ticking.
Top 3 things that you would tell a dentist, you know, getting started in investing or in dentistry or anything in general. You know, give me 3 top advice.
You got to get your bag up first. You know, you can't invest if you're not making money. And if you're paycheck to paycheck with your debt and, you know, you're saving, you can't save what you need to. Focus on getting into practice ownership and getting your bag up first. You know, pull on those resources to learn the business side of dentistry to start making more money. 2, a big thing for me is like, you got to just pull on your resources. Like the group that you help run, the Facebook group, is huge. I basically learned how to be a dentist on Dental Clinical Pearl's Facebook group, you know. There's a dental investment Facebook group. There's free podcasts out there. Like, you got to educate yourself and find some mentors and people who are smarter than you and who've done it before and just pull on them. And then lastly, once you get your bag up, once you've educated yourself, you got to get in the ball game, man. Just pull the trigger. You know, you're making money. You've done your due diligence. Get in the game. Don't let analysis paralysis slow you down.
I love that, man. Excellent advice. Dr. Brandon Johnson, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
My boy, Johnny, thanks for having having me, my brother.